Plebs, this is the Drama Critic. I watch drama and take care of drama and watch drama so you don't have to. So, tonight I have a special deal with, because I am the Drama Critic. I'm not really Generation Productions right now, or Dan at the moment. I am actually part of the character known as the Drama Critic. So that's who I am right now. So, what's happened to Generation Productions at the moment? Well, just a follow up on the scam that happened to him recently as far as crystal collection goes. Now then, on eBay, I'll just pull this up. He had, where are we? Just give me a second. I'm trying to find out what I'm doing. There we go. So here we go. What was listed was by that person, Suzanne Williams, bought the Bakura. Right there. Amethyst collection. And my opal collection. Well, I wasn't really sure if that was all really opal or not, but allegedly it was supposed to be opal. Allegedly it's supposed to be opal, but Dan wasn't sure about it. So, and of course, a few other ones like the geodes and stuff like that. Now, this person had the balls and the audacity to give him a downvote rating and left feedback, which has now been removed due to some reporting. But, you know, there we go. I'll sort of show it off. Sorry, I'm going to show you guys now what I'm talking about. There we go. So right here, that one, Suzanne Williams, scammer of the internet. So, like I said, all sorts of crystals here. She claimed that all of these were busted up, broken, not a good shape. And I'll even find that for you too while we're on the subject. So I'll put it in archives, messages. Let's have a look. So we have the return. So they're stepping in to resolve this issue. But, again, nothing was actually done properly, well, in one aspect. But, it said return requested. Right? So that, yep. But, where was it? Unless they got deleted, but I'm pretty sure I had some messages from the woman, but, There we go. All right. So about doing a refund. So we had that. So what I tried to do was I did try to issue a refund proper, but then for a partial refund offer. Yeah, because that seemed fair for that one. But nah, she didn't want to do that. Now, did she, Miss Suzanne Williams? Didn't want to do that. So I ended up cancelling orders because I didn't want to deal with this person anymore because she was a scammer. Now, so she said that she was going to send money. Didn't happen. Or rather, it did happen. Then she made a false claim to get the cash back. Now, maybe she's deleted the messages. Huh. So I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be here. She sent me a couple messages. Uh, there we go. Says right here. She says they are chipped and in poor condition as previously stated. But I already stated, no, there's nothing wrong with the item. I had a look at the photos she sent me, which is like that one which you see up in that corner, which is basically like the one I showed. So, and requested a return. Yeah, these stones, although all the stones are chipped and damaged, it was not stated in the listing. I'd like to return. Thank you. But here's the thing, right? She said she wanted to return, yeah? Guess what? She was lying. Oh my god. She was so fucking lying. Because Miss Williams decided to pretty much. So I did offer the. Eventually, we managed to get the refund going and stuff like that. But look at that. Half the collection I gave her is now being sold in a lot, and she's making $13.50 on it and $10.95 for postage. But then again, what can we expect from someone from Victoria? You know, just saying, scammer. Oh, stop sharing. But back to where was it? The person claimed that they were broken or items were missing, but there was none. And so that's where we are with that. It's like, what the absolute fuck? Even to the point that eBay said that they were going to try and issue some sort of refund thingy bob, oozy me what's it. I don't understand the whole process of, issuing refunds or shit. But they issued the woman a refund. And get this, get this. Let me show you something else this bitch did, right? She lied. She's so fucking lying. Oh my god. So fucking lying. Lying to me. What she did, eBay offered her a complete refund. But yet, that was the stupidest thing, right? Let me show you. So, basically, Suzanne Williams, scammer from Victoria, who works at the Epiline, this joint, this scammer. Oh, and while we're on the subject, let's go have a look at the feedback, shall we? The negative. There we go. Yep. Pretty much. This person is a bloody fucking scammer. So, yeah. But like I said before, don't buy anything from this chick. She's a fucking scammer. Or don't have any dealings with her. Because I said, I sold her all these crystals and rocks and stuff, and she said all of them are busted and broken, yeah? Oh, by the way, she said that she was going to send it back. And I was tracking it and said item was returned. No, it fucking wasn't returned. It's supposed to be back here, but it's not. So she's lied about it. I don't know how she pulled it off, but she lied. And said that she sent the package back. Didn't happen. And as you can see, over here it says that she was totally refunded most of all the cash back. And poor old eBay paid that much for it. So, and overall, I only made 30. Yeah, well, that's what they claim I made on it. So, but you know, it claims that the buyer paid, sent the parcel, and got it back. Yeah. No. She didn't do that. She didn't do it at all. Not at all. She didn't send the parcel back. Have not received it back. And what the bitch has gone and done? A lying. Oh my God. She's so fucking lying. Lying to me. She ended up listing it on eBay. Yeah. Hey, bitch, you do realize, Suzanne, half of that collection there was mine. That one 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 was. That one was. That one was. Those were. Those were. That was. 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 At least all about half of that collection you see right here, people, in this pile is from the collection I sold her. Okay, it's all broken, chipped, and damaged, right? Bullshit. And she's selling it for $13.50. Pretty much got on bid, selling it for $13.50, and wants people to pay $10.95 postage on it. Fuck that shit. This woman is a fucking scam artist. This woman is full of bullshit. She didn't send any of the stuff that she was supposed to send back to me. And yeah, instead of doing that, decide just to resell it. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. 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 I call bullshit. That's fucking bullshit, bitch. You don't go saying that my rocks were absolutely all them fucking. Look at this, zoomed in. All of them are supposed to be fucking chipped, broken, absolutely no good, right? All chipped, smashed, broken, no good at all. Yeah, what the fuck you doing, woman? You're reselling them in a lot. and you didn't send the package back when you said you were gonna. What a lying, manipulative scumbucket. Well, lying scumbucket. A bitch. Like, look. Even when do this, look. None of them are busted. None of them are broken. Like all the ones that were there, like the red one and the. Actually, let me show you. The red one's mine. That one. 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 Oh, not that one. 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 Well, there's half of all that collection there. She claims was busted and bullshitted. Ha! It wasn't. So again, Suzanne, fuck you to the moon, bitch. There we go. Fuck you to the moon, bitch. Because that's the bullshit you just gone and done. That's a bullshit, bitch. A lot of bullshit. Scammer of the internet. Get the fuck out of here. So, also, on another topic. We have this this from Vanity. There we go. Let's pull this up. Another note about Disney. So Disney's having a bit of a fallout because Rachel Zegler couldn't shut her fucking mouth. Anyway,
crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh! I saw the. Well, we didn't even see.
Overwhelming.
We didn't even see,
It's
but I saw the
overwhelming.
logo and I went, "That's my name. Snow White's up there," and I cried my eyes out.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my god, well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker and Nadia Stacey designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it. And it was the most incredible experience. And the fan reaction was insane. We didn't even see what they were clapping for. I think it was good. I don't
the
know.
sizzle.
Yeah.
We didn't see anything.
Yeah.
We're still waiting.
You see yourself as the evil queen. You are not evil. You are not evil. You're a queen, but you're not evil. What was it like seeing yourself as the evil queen for the first time?
We did not see the clip, so I still haven't seen anything. But when I was in makeup, just like she said, we got to work with such an amazing crew, and it was just like the best it could ever be. I must say that for me, also the transition for the old hag was incredible because it was all real prosthetics and all of that.
You were in
and
the chair for like 4 hours.
4 hours and changing the voice and everything. I feel so lucky that I got to play something that is so far from what I know and what I'm used to. And I super enjoyed every second of it.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
No. That's not the story of Snow White. Rachel, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, woman. Nothing. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, woman. Let me give you an example. Snow White was about a love story. Now, there is a dark side to Snow White. I'll get into that in a second. But before I get into the dark side of the story, because I know that's on YouTube here, and I'll get into it. Being is that you're wrong. The whole thing about, her father, Snow White's father, telling her that she can become a great leader one day. That never happened. Even if we go back to the original Brothers Grimm story, that never happened. Concept was, the story was about, she was, well, basically, if we go back to the Snow White story, she was happy as she was, right? She was happy, she living her life, being a smart, beautiful character. Then the witch comes along. Basically, the evil. I think it's supposed to be like, the evil witch comes along and says, "We are mirror, mirror. Who is the fairest one of them all?" And they said, "Snow White is the best looking in the world, mate. You're second best." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And got really angry about it. And so she dressed herself up as an old woman, okay, the traditional style of a witch, and gives Snow White a poisoned apple, which put her into a comatose, whatever you want to call it, basically knocked out state. And then a prince comes walking around looking for, something, and finds all these dwarf fellas mourning around this woman who they took in. These dwarf dudes come in and had basically Snow White be their mother, basically. So, in a way, Snow White was a mother figure to the seven dwarves, if you want to get down to it. She was a mother figure. She did the cleaning, the ironing, the dust the house, while the boys were out there pretty much, yeah. Hey, Tyrone and Felix. Yeah, today I am the drama critic, guys. Check this thing. I'm a drama critic at the moment, not Generation Productions 2 or Generation Productions at the moment, or Dan. It's drama critic. So we're covering the drama. So this is what we're talking about now, which is this Disney shit. This woman, this girl over here, Rachel, can't shut her fucking mouth. So let's get back into the point. So back to the thing about Snow White. So again, so she's like a mother figure to these seven dwarf dudes who would go out in the mine and dig up precious jewels and gems to, sell to the little townspeople or something like that. I think that's how it goes. And so they thought she was dead. And so they put her in this sort of glass or crystal grave thingy bob. Then the prince finds her, gives her a kiss to wake her up, and they live happily ever after. But,
And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
Nope.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
Nope. But where was the other one? She said. So we had that one. We had this one here.
This Snow White press tour has got to be the...
Sorry, people. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to this thing. Where was it? Oh, hello. We got a trailer, people. We got a trailer for the new Snow White. Here we go. Let's go have a look.
Football, everyone, regardless of race, gender, or perceived ability.
The crown is mine.
Regardless of what it is, shall we?
Slave in the magic mirror. Come from the farthest space. Through wind and darkness, I summon thee.
My queen. What would you like to know? Tell me.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Lips red as the rose. Hair black as ebony. Snow White.
The crown is mine.
What? What the fuck is that shit? That's not Snow White. That's fucking Game of Thrones. What the fuck? Ugh. What the fuck? Oh, that's not Snow White though. It's Game of fucking Thrones. What the hell was that shit? That's not fucking Snow White. That's fucking Game of Thrones. What the fuck? Ugh. Are they fucking serious? That's not Snow White. I'm sorry. That's not fucking... That piece of shit right there is not Snow White. That is fucking Game of Thrones and it's called Snow White. Ugh. But like I said, people, it's like, this is bullshit. This is not Snow White. This is fucking Game of fucking Thrones. Seriously, this is not Snow White. I'm sorry, this is not Snow White. This is fucking Game of Thrones called Snow White. It's basically the DLC package of Game of Thrones called Snow White. That's what this is. This is like a video game sketch of what Game of Thrones is. It's just a rip-off of Game of Thrones with the fucking Snow White title. That's it. Oh my... This is bullshit! It's absolutely crap, people. Exactly, Felix. Felix. It's like, this is bullshit! This is absolutely garbage! How this thing is going to be made is beyond me. They should write it off as a tax write-off, because this is absolute garbage. It's not Snow White. It's bloody... Actually... Oh... I don't know. I can't probably do it here. I might do it later on Generation Productions 2 or Generation Productions and actually do that, cover that, and actually like put the Game of Thrones theme song to this. Because that's what it is. It's just Game of Thrones with a bloody Snow White title. But it's not. I'm sorry. It's not Snow White. It's not. They've strayed too much from the source material. It's not Snow White. It's more or less Game of Thrones. Season 26 or whatever they would want it to be, or basically Game of Thrones Disney edition, or Disney remake of Game of Thrones. That's what this is. This is not Snow White. Now Gal Gadot, I think it was, who isn't that who it was? It was Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's the one. Gal Gadot. She's awesome. Yeah, even when you heard her do the interviews, she's spot on. But seriously, it's like this asswipe of an excuse for a Snow White movie. There's nothing to look at this shit. It's Game of Thrones, mate. That's all it really is. This is bloody Game of Thrones. I mean, look at it. Look at it. This is Game of Thrones shit right here. It's just, that's all that is. It's Game of Thrones, and Snow White is that annoying chick from Game of Thrones. You know? It's just Game of Thrones, mate. There's no Snow White in it. It's bullshit. And like I said, I might, like I said, play this video, the thing back and put the Game of Thrones music to it later. But my God, that is not Snow White. That is not Snow White. That is just the fucking piece of shit of Game of Thrones. That's all that is. That is nothing that... Disney, what the... Get the fuck out of here, Disney. Where is it? Where is it? I need something. Oh, where is it? Where's my stress relief for Disney? Oh, my bag of garbage. Right here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Ironic. Here we go. Oh, fuck that mouse. This is Minnie Mouse, by the way, of course, I think. Yeah, Minnie Mouse. But, like, squeeze the fuck out of Disney. Get the fuck out of here. Actually, no. Why not? You know what I'll do? Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. Oh, there we go. That's it. Disney, you just put yourself in a mousetrap. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's bullshit. That's not Snow White. But, let's have a look here for something. Let's go back. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So this is from John Solo. Shout out to his channel. Let's have a look at the original thing about Snow White.
We can help you spend less today with prices dropped for spring
his
on
video.
Sunday roasts. Like a straight.
Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is John Solo, and today I'm gonna tell you a messed up story. The story of Snow White. You're probably thinking, John, I've heard this story 1,000 times at this point. It's nothing new. But let me stop you right there. The Snow White that you're referring to, the one that we're all familiar with, is a Disney adaptation of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale from back in the day. There's definitely some dark elements to it, but it's nothing compared to the original. Actually, I think the original Snow White is the darkest of the stories we've covered so far. Before we dive into it though, let's take a look at Disney's version just to refresh our memories. The 1937 film introduces us to a beautiful young woman named Snow White, whose skin is white as snow and lips are red as a rose. Snow White's stepmother, the evil queen, is totally insecure. She has a magic mirror that she constantly asks, who's the fairest lady in the land? For a long time, the mirror always said the queen was the fairest, thus boosting her ego, but one day it makes the mistake of answering Snow White. Out of pure jealousy, the queen orders a huntsman to kill Snow White, but when push comes to shove, he can't make himself do it. She runs away, finds refuge with 7 dwarves, and lives with them for a time. At some point, Snow White's stepmother finds out she's alive, so she plans plans on killing her with a poisoned apple. Surprisingly, this actually works, but the queen ends up being struck by lightning anyways, and Snow White is saved by true love's kiss. And she marries a prince, so she wins. I think we can all agree that Disney's version is fantastic, but if you're like me, you like your stories to have a little more attempted murder. Fortunately, the Grimm brothers story has that in spades. That story starts a little earlier than the movie did. Snow White is still the princess, and she still has a totally insecure evil stepmother, but she's only 7 years old when the jealous queen orders the huntsman to kill her. Luckily for Snow White, the huntsman has a conscience. Instead of killing her in the woods and taking her lungs and liver back to the evil queen so she could eat them, he lets her go and kills a wandering bear cub in her place. Snow White runs through the woods for hours until she comes upon a cottage with a surprising amount of sized furniture in it. As you might guess, this house belongs to the 7 dwarves. One big difference between this story and Disney's I found really interesting. In this story, the house is described as being neater and cleaner than could be told, while in the movie, the house is a mess. I'm not sure why that change was made, but the rest of the scene lines up pretty well. Snow White passes out in one of the dwarves' beds and wakes up to find herself surrounded by dwarves. They tell her that in exchange for keeping the house clean and making them food, she can live there no problem and they'll take care of her. So that's what they do. Not long after this agreement is made, the evil queen needs another ego boost, so she goes to her mirror and asks it the infamous question, who is the fairest of them all? The all-knowing mirror that can only tell the truth answers the queen with a name she didn't expect to hear, Snow White. Imagine her surprise. Not only did she think Snow White was dead, she thought she ate her lungs and liver. Naturally, she's infuriated and decides that she will stop at nothing to kill that 7-year-old girl. Jealousy is an ugly color. The queen tries to take out Snow White on 3 separate occasions. The first time, she disguises herself as an old woman selling lace and offers to lace Snow White up properly. I don't know exactly what that means, but I would imagine it has something to do with a corset maybe, because apparently the
to lace up means to strap up like someone in a corset. So just to let you know, John Solo, what that means is to lace someone up is because there was actually like ties at the back of a corset. So there's like strings at the back of a corset. So when it talks about trying to lace up Snow White, was to basically suck in the chest and suck in the waist, more or less, by wearing a corset. That's the concept, mate. More or less. Anyway. Back to As You Were.
queen tied the lace so tight that Snow White couldn't breathe and passed out from lack of oxygen. Not kidding, that's actually what happens, but luckily the dwarves come back just in time to loosen up the corset or whatever, and Snow White can breathe again. For the second murder attempt, the queen dresses up as a different old lady and gives Snow White a poison comb that knocks her unconscious when she uses it. This time the poison wasn't strong enough to take out Snow White for good, but the low self-esteem queen learned her lesson and chose to make her a poisoned apple. She also chose to dress like a farmer's wife for this attempt because she figured there was no way Snow White was going to trust a third mysterious old lady. As the old saying goes though, third time's a charm.
Again, that's the thing. In the original story, like I said, there was a few different attempts on Snow White's life. So that's the reason why they did the Disney version, because it was like 3 times the witch tried, basically the evil stepmother tried to kill Snow White. So this is the reason why it was taken out of the original, because it was just easier to focus on the last story, which is the poison apple one, as what John is saying here. Okay, back to business.
Actually convinces Snow White to take a bite out of the bowl, and she dies. A while later, the dwarves come back to the house to find her body, and they're so heartbroken by her death, they can't make themselves bury her. Instead, they put her in a glass coffin like the one in the movie, and they brought it to the mountains where they mined for gold and silver so one of them could always be watching over it. Sometime later, a prince actually ends up staying with the dwarves while he's traveling through the woods, and when he's there, he sees Snow White in her coffin and thinks she's beautiful. He then somehow manages to convince the dwarves that if they let him take Snow White's body with him back to the castle, he'll take care of her. I don't know how he does it. And then, while one of the 4 servants carrying Snow White's they tell her that in exchange for keeping the house clean has a conscience. Instead of killing child-sized furniture in it. As you might guess, this house belongs to the 7 dwarves. One big difference between this story and Disney's I found really interesting. In this story, the house is described as being neater and clean. Apple. Surprisingly, this actually works, but the queen ends up being struck by lightning. That story starts a little earlier than the movie did. Snow White is still the princess, and she's still
trying to find where we're at.
Belongs to the 7 dwarves. One big difference between this story and Disney's I found really interesting. In this story, the house is described as being neater and cleaner than could be told, while in Go and kills a wandering bear cub in her place. Snow White runs through the woods for hours until she totally insecure evil stepmother, but she's only 7 years old when the jealous queen orders the huntsman to kill her. Luckily for Snow White, the huntsman has a conscience. Instead of killing her in the woods and taking her lungs and liver back to the evil queen so she could eat them, he lets her go and kills a wandering bear cub in her place. Snow White runs through the woods for hours until she comes upon a cottage with a surprising amount of child-sized furniture in it. As you might guess, this house belongs to the 7 dwarves. One big difference between this story and Disney's I found really interesting. In this story, the house is described as being neater and cleaner than could be told, while in the movie, the house is a mess. I'm not sure why that change was made, but the rest of the scene lines up pretty well. Snow White passes out in one of the dwarves' beds and wakes up to find herself surrounded by dwarves. Not only did she think Snow White was dead, she thought she of them all. The all-knowing mirror that can only tell the truth answers the queen with a name she didn't expect to hear, Snow White. Imagine her surprise. Not only did she the first time she disguises herself as an old woman selling lace and offers to lace Snow White up properly. I don't know exactly what that means, but lack of oxygen. Not kidding, that's actually what happens, but luckily the dwarves come back. For the second murder attempt, the queen dresses up as a different old lady. This time the poison wasn't strong enough to uses it. This time the poison wasn't strong enough to take out Snow White for good, but the low self-esteem queen learned her lesson and chose to make her a poisoned apple. She also chose White to take a bite out of the poisoned apple, and she broken by her death, they can't make themselves bury her. Instead, they put her in a glass coffin like the one in the movie.
Sorry people for the skip. I lost my place for a minute. So let's get back to this story. Sorry about that, people. Now we're back to it. Sorry about that.
Brought it to the mountains where they mined for gold and silver, so one of them could always be watching over it. Sometime later, a prince actually ends up staying with the dwarves while he's traveling through the woods, and when he's there, he sees Snow White in her coffin and thinks she's beautiful. He then somehow manages to convince the dwarves that if they let him take Snow White's body with him back to the castle, he'll take care of her. I don't know how he does it. And then, while one of the 4 servants carrying Snow White's coffin on his shoulders trips on a tree stump, the sudden jolt in movement causes a bite of poison apple to become unlodged out of Snow White's throat, and she wakes up, no problem. And then the exact thing that you're expecting to happen happens. The prince proposes to Snow White.
So is the prince a stalker like Rachel said? No. Not even by the original one standards. Yes, creepy. The prince wanted a dead body to take back to the castle. That is weird. I won't disregard that. Having a female rotting corpse in the castle, or assuming that she was dead, right? So that was creepy. But that's about all. There's no stalker shit about it. So when Rachel stated that the prince was a stalker, no, he wasn't a stalker. He was creepy, but he wasn't a stalker. He was creepy. Pretty much bringing back a dead body to the castle in the original Brothers Grimm version. Pretty much. And if you want to get down to it, basically, if you're that sort of politically inclined, you could say that basically the prince kissed Snow White without her consent, if you want to go down that route when she was out to it. So that's where things get a little bit seedy for the story of Snow White. But anyway, let's continue.
And she says yes. We're not done yet though, because my favorite part is next. Because Snow White was marrying into a royal family, her evil queen stepmother was invited. She was so angry about Snow White's happiness that she actually decided to attend the wedding, and when she got there, they made her wear iron slippers that had been heated up over a fire and dance until she died. That is what we call a left turn. It's kind of like what happened at the end of Cinderella, but I felt like that at least made some sense. In this story, she goes straight from watching the wedding to putting on those slippers. No segue in between. Written by M. Night Shyamalan, am I right? So now it's time I ask, what do you think of this story? I enjoyed it a decent amount, but the one thing that left me confused was that Snow White was 7 years old when she died, and when she woke up, she was ready to marry the prince immediately. Like, it doesn't even say if any time has passed, so I'm a little concerned. Outside of that weirdness, I thought it was a pretty good story. Thank you.
So there you go. There is some sort of predatory bullshit as far as the prince goes with Snow White, technically. But as being as a stalker, no. More like a sexual predator would be more of a better way to describe the prince from Snow White. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. Just saying. According to the original story, that's what it seems like. You know, she's supposed to be 8 years old when all that stuff went down, and she woke up when she was 16 or something like that later on. Actually, good question. I'm gonna have a look at this. Okay, in the Disney version. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Fuck! Oh my god! Okay. Yikes. The prince was allegedly 31 and Snow White was 14 in the Disney version. Yeah. Exactly. So she falls asleep when she's 8 years old and wakes up when she's 14 and gets married to the prince when he's 31. Oh my fucking god. So yeah, even if you want to go by the standard, there is some absolute bullshittery in the Snow White story. Sorry to break it to you, there is some predatory stuff even in the Disney version. Like, according to Disney version, she was always like 14. The whole 8-year-old stuff doesn't play into it. That's in the Brothers Grimm version. But to be fair, Snow White should never be remade. I'm sorry, it should never be touched again. It's a nonce story. It's a pedophile story. Technically, if you want to get down to it, yeah. Don't go anywhere near Snow White. That book is evil shit. Yeah. Over the original Disney movie. It's basically a nonce movie. Evidence right here, people. Let's just bring that up again, shall we? Oh. Right there, highlighted for all you to see, if you can see that. How old was Snow White and Prince Charming? Allegedly 31 to 14. 31 to it's disgusting. I'm sorry for those who are classic story peoples or fans of the original OG Snow White, the original Disney movie. But, yeah, that, indeed. Oh, fuck. Yep, indeed. So, even the original Snow White and the Disney version is a Predator movie. Pretty much. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, indeed, Felix. It's the Disney movie. Yeah, it's a pedophile movie. Let's just bring it out. Snow White is a Predator movie. Straight up. He wasn't a stalker, but he was a predator. Just saying. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why bring back a dead body to the... Well, it was supposed to be presumed as a dead body back to the castle. I mean, that's pretty creepy anyway. You know? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Snow White is a Predator story. Who knew, right? We had the Predator being the huntsman, going to go try and kill Snow White. That didn't take place. We had the mother-in-law, okay, the evil stepmom, okay, the witch, and she tried to kill Snow White. It's a Predator movie. Seriously, Snow White is a fucking Predator movie. Straight up. Nothing good about Snow White. Oh, man, I might have to go and burn the original poster of it that I've got around here somewhere. But, you know, the Disney movie, it's a Predator movie. Straight up, that's what it really is, if you go and actually look at it. Look at it! The facts are pointing out that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original book, the original movie, is basically talking about noncery and being a predator and having predators in there. Now we don't. Now, of course, we don't say that the seven dwarfs, the dwarfs aren't predators, but everyone around them pretty much is. It's my God, it's disgusting. Disgusting behaviour. I tell you, I'm gonna have to wash my mouth out with fucking water, mate. This is bullshit. There's no soap I can eat, but swear to God, this is the closest I'm going to get is water. That's disgusting. Yeah, exactly, Felix. Snow White, yeah, it's a Predator movie. Straight up, Snow White, the Disney version and the original book version, is a Predator movie. So, it was right that the prince is a stalker. No, he ain't no stalker. That's the huntsman. The huntsman is the stalker, right? Not the prince. The prince is a creepy nonce. That's pretty much it. Yeah, the prince is a creepy old nonce dude. More or less. You know? Yeah. So if you want to talk about true love and all that bullshit, you do realise, dude, you're talking about a 14-year-old getting together with a 31-year-old. I mean, my God. Oh, it's garbage. It's bullshit. I've never been so pissed off in all my life. It's garbage, people. Snow White is not a good movie. Never has been, never will be. All right, people. Well, I think I'll wrap this up. Thank you, Felix and Tyrone, for stopping by. But my God, finding out that Snow fucking White is actually a Predator movie. That's what it really is. You know, she was in the Brothers Grimm one. She was stalked by the mother and the huntsman when she was 8 years old in the original Brothers Grimm version to try and kill her. Right. Then from there we have. So what it's almost like trying to say is the prince is the worst, is the less worst of the two evils. You know. Oh, if you're a nonce, you're okay. You know, if you're a sexual predator, that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to, when you try and kill someone, that's not right. That's evil. But they're still predators. It's a story of two type of predators. You've got the sexual predator, okay, nonce, and then you've got the other predator, which is like the two who are trying to kill Snow White. Either way, it's a predator movie. It's a predator book. It's a predator movie. It's shit. It's shit, people. It's shit. Snow White is shit from the word go. And the new one isn't even any better because it's basically just a knockoff of Game of Thrones. Actually, who was that character I was thinking of? I wonder if I can play that. Just give me a second. To me, this is what the Snow White looks like to me. I think who the character is. All right. That's right. Atris or Artris, or how to pronounce her name. Arya, that's the one. This to me, this is what the real Snow White's like, right? HBO. Yeah, this right here. Actually, no, wait a minute. No, I'm going to do the better version. Let's get the better version. This is the better version. Yeah, since we're talking Disney, this makes perfect sense. I'm going to show you. This is what it should be. This is what Snow White should be in the new 2020 Disney cut. This is by Omed, so we subscribe to this dude. So let's go check this out. Excuse me. You don't want to see that shit. You want to see this shit. Well, this good shit right here. Here we go.
Don't lunge.
Welcome to basically Snow White and the Seven Duelists from Game of Thrones. Okay, Snow White versus the Evil Queen. Here we go. This is what it should be, right?
Don't go where your enemy leads you.
This is what Snow White should be. This is what
and don't fight someone like her in the first place.
Nice sword. Very nice dagger.
If they haven't contributed the right amount of grain to the stores, then I'm afraid they'll have to make do with what they've brought. We can't.
It's been a while since I trained.
I can go and find the Master of Arms for you, my lady.
He didn't beat the Hound. You did. I want to train with you. You swore to serve both my mother's daughters, didn't you?
Move aside, Podrick.
Yeah, that dude's been the prince. Anyway, here we go.
You can't use that, my lady. It's too small.
I won't cut you. Don't worry.
I'll try not to.
I can imagine this being like Snow White in the Star Wars.
Who taught you how to do that?
No one.
Now that right there, that should have been the sort of Star Wars mix-up, Disney mix-up with Game of Thrones in the sense of using lightsabers and stuff like that. That should have been the new Snow White. I swear to God. So if they're going down the road of Game of Thrones style, that should have been what they should have done. But overall, yeah, the original Snow White is absolutely bullshit. No, sadly, I haven't seen the new Ahsoka yet. But I want to go and have a look at it. But the problem is, they're not releasing any physical media in Australia anymore, are they? Disney and all that stuff. So I might not be able to see the actual the Ahsoka series. I might not even get a chance to see it because I'm from Australia. And because I'm from Australia, I may never get a chance to see the Ahsoka series. I may not even get a chance to see it and I don't have Disney Plus, and I'm not going to get Disney Plus because Disney's shit. You know, beat up the fucking mouse. Fuck the mouse. You know, I'm not gonna worry about Disney Plus. Fuck it. So I'm probably not gonna see it. Well, yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's any good or not. To be fair, but who knows? The Ahsoka series might be able to save Star Wars. Who knows? But as far as I'm aware of, the original Snow White, no good. I tell you, they should have done that sort of Arya and Game of Thrones thing like they did. They should have done that with Snow White and made it like aged her up a bit. They've been, I'm pretty sure, how is actually come to think of it, how old is um 22. Yeah, well, they have aged Snow White up. Oh, that's better. She's 22 in the new movie because that's the actress's age. So I'll play that. But still, bloody hell, she looks like 16. She looks like she's bloody 16, mate. Ugh, but anyway, people. Well, after all that shit's said and done, at the end of the day, it just sucks that the original Snow White sucks. The new Snow White sucks. And let's be frank, anything that's related to Disney at this point, in a nutshell, sucks. That's the way it is. It's all suckery. Pretty much. So, I think we'll wrap this up, people. So thank you all people for watching. Thank you, Felix, Tyrone, and all the people who are watching. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the likes. If you see what you like here, like and subscribe to the channel, Generation Productions 2, Generation Productions 1, and of course, Snickers The Next Generation. So, until next time, people. Until next time, people. Have a good one, all.